Hello and welcome to the model of the month for March. This month I'm going to feature Hornby R2374 and it's a Class 50 locomotive number 50031 Hood. This particular loco is in the very attractive large logo livery with the silver or grey roof, and it's stabled alongside number 50024 Vanguard. I'll take you through the model and then I'll draw some comparisons from this release, which is a few years old now, compared to the new release that came out last year. Okay, let's look at the hood. This is a previous release from Hornby and it was built by the manufacturers in China, Sandokan, so it is obviously of high quality because they were, one of the best at producing scaled models, and it does show in the quality construction of the hood. I'm not saying the new one isn't a good model, but it's behind this in terms of build quality. Inside, the mechanism or the circuitry for lighting the head code lights, the marker lights, is different. It's more complex in this one, it's simpler in that one, but I can't help feel that that might be a bit more durable than this one. That's just a personal opinion. So inside, in that respect, they're different. Also, this one's a rotating fan, which in my mind you don't need. Doesn't have one on the latest release, did have one on the previous releases. It's a nice gimmick, but do you actually see it? No, really. Unless you're running about with the cover off, then but who does that? So that's the inside differences, if you like. There's a bit of circuit board differences and updates in this, which have maybe improved it and made it simpler. So there are pros and cons to both on the internal workings. The couplings are slightly different. The older release had this kind of triangle slot-in coupling, whereas the new one has full NAM sockets with the two prongs. The older ones are easier to fit, but come off easier, and these ones are, once they're in, they're in. So you can argue the pros and cons there regarding, coming off when you don't want to. But then again, if you're taking them off and on, the older version is better. Move on to the paint finish. There are subtle differences in the BR blue of both of them, and there's a big difference actually with regard to the black window surrounds. If I move the camera up, I'll show you. The black goes all the way in there on the old release, and the new one, it's just on the front of the body shell. It doesn't go all the way into the windowsill, if you like. So obviously a wee bit of cost cutting on the latest releases there. Hornby models are always well finished with regard to paint and stuff, and the little details are very well applied, and all the individual detail is superbly applied on both. So don't think I'm picking at the new stuff. They have a reputation for good quality finish. The wee jumper lead cables here, the fittings on the old one are orange plastic painted and the wires painted black, so it makes the orange actual sockets look better, whereas the new one, it's a black piece of plastic painted orange. So you could argue the black shows through on the orange there, but if the cable gets chipped here, I suppose the orange would start to show through. You get just different things. They've used obviously different coloured plastic from the old to the new. Don't know why that is. Buffer beam detail's not been fitted on hood yet, but it's the same as on the new one, Vanguard. With regard to snowplows, they keep having in their leaflet how to fit snowplows, but I've never come across a 50 that's actually been sold with snowplows. I know there are very few fitted with them, so maybe they only produce them on certain editions, but there is socket fittings there for a 50 snowplow, and if anyone knows where to pick up Hornby Class 50 snowplows, please get in touch. I might stick them on a loco at some point. I know Vanguard did actually wear them for a period of its time in service. What else is there now? Well, this one's got the orange disc, yellow discs painted there, whereas this one's not. Again, just a visual difference there. And on the new ones, the orange Cantrail stripe sometimes wasn't applied straight. I was lucky I've got one that has been, but on the older ones it just seems to be a bit sharper with regard to the finish. And finally, issues I've had in the past with the 50s, especially my first Vanguard that I had, the grills, when you take the cover off they're very fragilely fitted on the new ones, whereas they seem to be more robustly fitted, touch wood, on the older ones. And you do get spares to buy. I know Peter's Spares sell spare louver and fan grills, but if you do buy them, they match the older colour blue and not the slightly darker BR blue on the later releases. So there we have it. We've got the two standing side by side, both absolutely cracking locos. You know, I know I'm a class 47 man, but I have to say the 50 is right up there in my favourites list, along with the HSTs. They are great models. The motor on them is superbly powerful and so quiet, and you know, it really puts a Bachmann class 37, for example, to shame with its running characteristics. If anyone has a Bachmann 37, you know they can be a bit noisy and grindy. I've got a couple that are like that, whereas you know the Hornby ones, touch wood again, you know, they're just so quiet and well run. The design in them is second to none. So yeah, but thumbs up to Hornby on parts of their engineering there. So there we go. I'll show you the hood running on the layout, and I'll do a wee bit of running session as well, just to finish off the video. And yeah, I know you can't get hold of this particular one anymore, but if you do get the opportunity to pick up an older class 50 from Hornby in good condition, they are well worth the money. The actual hood 50031 is one of the preserved class 50s, so it's good to know that I can run a preservation type you know, service on the main line, along with more modern stock. So yeah, good model, good find, and I'm really happy with the purchase. So let's get it running.